Hi, I'm here with Mike Waco.
Hello.
Mike's on this hike with me today, and Mike, it's cool. It's really an easy 2 mile down.
It is.
Something tells me it's going to be a little bit more harder going
Yeah.
up at 1,100 feet than it was coming down.
Yep, definitely.
And but I just wanted you guys to meet Mike. Mike is our house manager at Hearrt2Heart, and so Mike, I just wanted to tell you what's the Lord doing in you? What's Hearrt2Heart meant to you? Talk a little bit about.
Yeah, Hearrt2Heart means a lot. You know, I came out of over 10 years of going to jails and prisons due to a heroin addiction and life choices. And Hearrt2Heart picked me up while I was in one of those institutions, and really helped me come closer to the Lord, get my life back in order, learn how to be discipled, learn how to disciple others, and really just learn what it means to follow after Jesus.
You know, Mike, you've been with us. When did you come? Do you remember the exact month? It's been over a year.
Yeah, it's been about a year and a half now.
Year and a half.
Yep.
And it was about 6 months ago that we made Mike our house manager. Mike, I've seen so much growth in you from your first time you arrived. It's noticeable in not only in your character, but it's also physically. You've gotten in shape. You go to the gym regularly.
Yep.
And then just recently, God's given you a lady into your life.
Yeah.
We've been praying for Mike to have a hiking wife, because Mike goes on a lot of my hikes with me. You know, so Heather.
Yeah, her name's Heather. We met at church, and she draws me closer to the Lord. I do the same for her, and it's just really evident to see God work in and through our relationship. And we have a wedding coming up June 28th, and so we're excited for the next chapter.
I know you are. Mike's going to be long-term with us, it looks like. Just depends on what the Lord's doing. Mm-hmm. And Mike, if you had just one piece of advice or just anything or any wisdom you could pass along to other guys coming out of prison, jail, drugs, what would you say to them?
You have to come to the point to where you are 100% done with your own ideas, actions, especially consequences. Everyone's tired of their own consequences, but you have to be done with the choices that led you to receive those consequences. And that can take a while to really set in and to understand what that means and to reach that place of brokenness. So just ask yourself, are you really there? Whether you're an addict or not, are you 100% fed up with the choices you've been making that have led you to your current situation, however big or small? We are all in some type of situation that we wish could be better. So ask yourself, what is it that you've done that has led you there? What can you take responsibility for, and what do you have power to change? What room can you make in your mind, in your heart, in your thoughts, and your decisions for God to have an influence in that?
So would you say that Jesus is really the only way to really overcome this?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. To really have that permanent life change, you have to submit yourself over to His design for what your life should be. And that can be small decisions. We often think of that as big decisions, but it can be small decisions in how you treat someone, what you choose to do with your time, how you spend your time. So really, it's not just the big decisions, it's the small ones as well.
You know, you talked about you got in your heart, you just have to be done, you know, with the former life. But talk just for a second before we end about what has the Hearrt2Heart community, what role does community play in your recovery?
Yeah, community's huge. You have to, you want to seek after a community or create one that really allows you, isn't micromanaging your life, which can lead to rebellion. If it's just all rules and no relationship, that's not going to get you very far. You have to have the relationship be primary. The rules, yes, be there for the common sense and safety and allowance, to make decisions and sometimes make them wrong, but still be loved through that. And that really allows a person to really just come to the end of themselves and still know that they're loved and cared for, and that's what God did for us, and so that's what we're called to do for others.
And the men we have in our house, I think they would agree that we call the rules bumpers. That's why I call them bumpers, to
Right.
kind of help. But we don't tell a man how to live his life, but we will protect him.
Right.
And but it's like the only time they hear from us isn't when they've done something wrong.
Right.
Is that the relationships that we're building with them, that the men are building with each other. It just helps that when you make that decision, I'm done, you walk into a community with other guys who've made that decision and who are growing in their walk with Christ. Then man, that's just that God combination that I think brings about great change in people's lives, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Okay. Well, folks, just wanted to had Mike with me, and I just love Mike to death, and we're thankful for he and Heather and Weston, their Heather's son, which is about to be Mike's as well, and we're excited to have Mike with us, and so and thank you for joining us on this segment down here at Evans Landing. I'd like to see you on the trail, the real trail here, but also on the trail of life. Happy sauntering, and thanks for joining us.